Welcome back to The Sweet Life. Today is the day. Remember back in December we talked about Shiba Inu potentially listing on Robinhood? Well, today is the official day. Shiba Inu is actually on Robinhood, but the title of the video says, but, ... Why? We're going to explain why I say that in just a few moments. First, let's get right down to the point. If you open up your Robinhood app, if you have Robinhood, go to the search and just type in SHIB. Right there, it'll be Shiba Inu. Now, you remember back in December when we were looking at this, and you typed in Shiba, it would come up with this little pop-up right here that said crypto gift. That happened right around December 11th or something like that. So it was very interesting at the time because I thought maybe they're actually starting to code to get ready for the launch of SHIB. Because not every cryptocurrency pulled up crypto gift. But here we are either way. They have launched Shiba Inu as you see right here live on my Robinhood app. If you wanted to buy it, you can simply click on it right there. Here we are right now at $26.34, but right here's the button that matters and it says buy. You can buy $5, $10, $100,000, whatever you want to buy, you can buy if you're interested in it right here on Robinhood. So that's going to be very interesting, but a lot of people are asking why list it today? Where's all the hype? What's going on here? We're going to address all that in today's video. Because remember, we just don't talk about the news. We're going to dive a little bit deep and see what the heck is actually going on with Shiba Inu and Robinhood. Now, I got to say down here, I need to get my act together. If you see, I'm off the wallet's waitlist and I still haven't done it yet. All I have to do is tap on that, verify my identity, set up 2FA, and then activate the ability to send and receive cryptocurrency via my Robinhood wallet. I need to get my act together on that. But it doesn't matter. You don't need the wallet in order to buy Shiba Inu. You just simply hit buy and onward you go. They also have listed these cryptocurrencies as well as of today, along with Shiba Inu. So pretty darn good. And it was kind of random, wasn't it? All of a sudden, a little bit earlier today, April 12th, they're like, oh, by the way, we listed Shiba Inu. And it was kind of like, whoa, what? Because, where was the hype? Where was the info? Where was the details? It wasn't like, hey, starting on this day, we're going to launch SHIB. No, it was just a sudden attack. But why list it on a day like today? Oh my gosh, there's a lot of reasons that I'm concerned about listing it on a day like today. Let me explain why. I want to give a shout out to this tweet right here. Is this not the worst case scenario? To list the coin under the nose of everyone unannounced, no countdown or hype, it stagnates the coin, turns out could have been immense profits into virtual drain. I'm going to talk about why I think this is actually very good questions and where I see this. Now, first I'm going to talk out of the other side of my mouth and say that why list it today? Because a day like today, you may have noticed when you look at SHIB, you see an upward trend. And that was as soon as they announced Robinhood listing SHIB. All of a sudden, whoosh, it goes up, right? And then it kind of comes down and stagnates a little bit. Darn it. Well, here's two reasons why. First, they announced on today, which Robinhood would know, that today's the day that the freaking inflation report comes out. Now look at it. 8.5% inflation, all-time high. Inflation has not been this bad since 1981. Just reported today. So anytime that happens, and if you look back, and remember on the channel, we've been talking about this a lot, over the last couple months that we've been seeing record high inflation from 7 to 7.5 to, it just keeps going up. Every time this happens, the day and the rest of the week are absolute crap for the market. Not just stock market, but also the crypto market. Funny enough, you would think that maybe inflation in the fiat currency would improve the crypto, but we're not quite there yet. And we see a lot of volatility as a result of inflation most of the time, at least looking at the last couple months that this has come out. It also drives a lot of fear. Check out the crypto fear and greed index as of today. Here we're sitting at a 20, a freaking 20, guys. It's an extreme fear. Look at last week at a neutral at a 53, much higher, down to a 20. So here you have some bad news pressuring the market on top of the fact that you have, crypto fear and greed index at extreme fear. Even the stock market is sitting at a 44 in the fear zone. Compare that with a week ago where we were in neutral zone by a couple extra points. So I think it's really important to think about that. And then you come over here to CoinGecko and then it starts to get kind of interesting. If I go to the overall market, you can see it's up 1.2%. But let's take a look at the 7-day chart for CoinGecko. You got Bitcoin down 14%. You got Ethereum down 14.4%. You have Solana down 22.9%. You even have Dogecoin down 8.1%. And then here's SHIB, 0.5%. 0.5 in the last 7 days. Now, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? Because you have a 0.5, but look what's happening now. This is in the last 24 hours. It's obviously sticking out. Why is it sticking out? Because Robinhood has listed Shiba Inu. But I think this would have been a lot worse without Robinhood listing it. So in a way, it's a good thing that they just all of a sudden sprung this on us, and it's also a bad thing. The good thing about it is, here we have a lot of negative downward pressure in the news. You got the inflation report, people are still scared about what's going on in the world, all that kind of stuff. Downward pressure, we've been dealing with it for the last couple months. At the same time, you have Robinhood now boosting it up. So it's kind of like in this position of, I'm kind of going up, but I'm getting pressured and I'm kind of going up. So I would not doubt to see a lot of weird volatility for a little while for two different reasons. One, because of what I just mentioned, all of that stuff I just mentioned. And number two, there are still people that are a little bit nervous. Maybe they bought in at an all-time high back in October, or maybe they're just done with SHIB and are trying to move on. What's going to happen is every time we keep pushing up, there's going to be a bunch of people that sell. And they're going to sell because they're like, oh, this is my out time. It's at 3,000, it's at 4,000, it's at 5,000, I'm out. And they're going to dip out. And when that happens, that'll continue to test the overall support and resistance level of Shiba Inu. So something we'll have to keep an eye on. But as far as the matter of the real question in this tweet, why not build up some hype? And is this going to stagnate the coin? And I really want to focus on that point, stagnate the coin. Let's pull up this video from back in December of 2021, where I said, why is Shiba Inu coin not going up? And I'm going to interpret all of this terrible handwriting that I have on the screen right here from when I did this video last time. But look at what we're looking at. We're looking at the difference between the all-time high in May of 2021 and the next all-time high in October of 2021. You see the difference here. But look at all this activity that's going on in SHIB. You have KuCoin that listed SHIB. You have Bitforex, Binance, StealthX. You have Voyager. You have Webull, and then you have Coinbase. Coinbase is a big one, right? So you have all of these things listing SHIB. And look what's happening down below here. Look what's happening. Absolutely freaking nothing, right? It's just sitting there. Oh my gosh, it's going up. It's going back down. Oh my gosh, it's going up. And doesn't that sound very familiar with what we're dealing with now? Huh. And one could even argue, if you zoom into this part right here, it just looks like it went to a high and down it went, right? And then all of a sudden this happened, right? So could there be a repeat of what's going on? And now with the biggest player of all, Robinhood in, because Robinhood has a ton of users. And there were a ton of users that weren't jumping over to Coinbase, Webull, KuCoin, Bitforex, Kraken. I mean, they weren't doing that. They were sticking with Robinhood. Now they have access to buy the token. If they're still interested in it, this could potentially help us out over the long period of time. Because the question would be, well, Binance is a big one. Why didn't it go up when they did? Well, a little bit it did right down here, if you can really zoom in and see that. Why not when Voyager listed? It did a little bit, but not really. All this stuff was going on. Shiba Swap was announced. For crying out loud, they could announce Shibarium tomorrow, and who knows what would happen. You might have a little bit of a spike up like you saw here after they announced the Shiba Swap, but it's still kind of flat-lined out. So I look at it as jet fuel for the jet, or rocket fuel for the rocket, however you want to look at it. We got to keep our eye on the news, we got to keep our eye on the developments, and we got to keep our eye on how Robinhood influences this particular price. In the worst time to list is when there's a lot of downward pressure in the market. That might be a good idea for Robinhood, who knows, but right now there's a lot of downward pressure in the market. So they list this coin and a few others, and now we'll have to see how that's going to balance out. If it was last year and they did it, we would have dropped a zero. I really strongly believe we would have dropped a zero for sure. But now we're going to have to deal with a little bit of upward pressure and downward pressure at the same time. But wait, there's a little bit more. If we go over here to the official Shiba Inu Twitter, make sure you follow me on SHIB too. I give you burn updates and much, much more. But if we look at the official account, they said today there's more than just Robinhood. One, we're going to have, of course, Robinhood, whatever. One, we're going to have a Metaverse update. And two, introducing new utility for SHIB in SHIB the Metaverse. Now this is big, and here's the biggest point of this entire little article is right there. We have heard the community feedback and are happy to welcome even more utility for SHIB in the Metaverse. Now that's big. Matthew Perry, shout out to him, creating a Discord, talking about, hey, we're going to take this into our own hands if we don't see some things actually happening. Well, guess what happens? They're listening to community feedback. That gives me a little bit of That's what I want to see. Good job. Hats off to you for that. Now, let's talk about the Metaverse update because this is a big one too. That utility is a burn mechanism in the Metaverse once the Metaverse is launched. Go check that out for yourself. I'm not going to read it to you, but 3 different ways the SHIB can be burned once the Metaverse is launched. But we need to first launch the bloody Metaverse. And it's happening today. According to them, it's happening today. And of course, we want to hold them to it that it's actually going to happen today. So right here we are, SHIB, the Metaverse. I'm going to hit refresh on SHIB.io, but this will be live today, okay? And as a result of it being live today, here's what you can expect. Right here, phase number 1 starting, which is the bid event, and it's going to last for 72 hours. This gives us the chance for those people that have locked up their leash, as you can see right here, lock your leash, and the Shiboshis as the event starts in order to join the interactive map. So that's going to last for 72 hours. At that point, we'll then move on to phase 2, 7 days, the holders event. Anybody that's been holding can then bid on the lands in the Metaverse. And then finally, the public sale open for all to jump in on SHIB, the Metaverse. So on top of that, today we start launching phase 1, but then we get to look forward to phase 2 and 3 at the same time. We then need to hop back here and say, okay, once we start rolling, we want them to start showing the receipts for burning SHIB on adding pictures, logos, and land plots, renaming the land plots, and leasing the hubs. Those are the 3 bullet points right there. That starts happening. That's good news. So what are your thoughts on the fact that they have listed SHIB on Robinhood? Drop me a comment down below. Make sure you stay tuned because I'm going to explain something also in the next video that talks about burning. A lot of people have been asking, if you look at CoinGecko or look at CoinMarketCap, their circulating supply of SHIB is showing at 549. My numbers on Twitter are showing 589. What's the difference of 40 trillion tokens? What's the deal with that? I'm going to break it down and explain exactly what that deal is and give you some resources and some tools that you're going to want to know about. But until next time, make sure you check out this video next. We'll see you on the next video.